All right, what's going on, everybody? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you may be watching this. Today is Sunday, April the 5th, 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got some things to talk about with MoveQuest today. There was a hack. Let's just get straight to it. There was a hack, but I want to bring you guys some information about what happened, how MoveQuest is handling it, what we know right now, and of course, what we do going forward. We're going to talk about all of that in this video. I do not plan on it being long, but you guys know how I am. I could talk, and I apologize for the poor visual. Just try to listen in best you can if it's not aesthetically pleasing enough for you, because this is going to be some good information, some important information for all of you. For those of you that may be in MoveQuest right now, for those of you that may have been watching MoveQuest and are trying to decide whether it's something that you want to try or do, all of that different stuff, I think you want to stay tuned and watch this video. Before I get started, I want to make sure I remind all of you that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I am not your financial advisor, all right? I am just a dude on YouTube showing you guys how I'm cranking it out of MoveQuest, and I am loving the experience in MoveQuest, even throughout these security issues going on right now. These are learning points. These are lessons. And this is a little bit different than any other thing that we have ever been a part of when it comes down to a hack, but it's still the same in a sense of it is a security breach, it is a hack, and it's something that needs to be paying attention to, not only by MoveQuest, but by all of us, which is why I say all the time, make sure you put your 2FA on all the wallets and all of your platforms or whatever you're involved in out there. Make sure you put a 2FA on it. If you can do it, make sure you do it, all right? Don't give anybody your key phrases, your seed phrases, your any of pertinent information. Don't give that to people, especially not in the crypto space. The way decentralization works is that you do not have to give those things to other people for you to take part in it. Doesn't have to. You don't have to give people your email address. You don't have to give people your seed phrase, key phrases. You don't want to do that anyway, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and read some of the stuff that is going on in Discord, all right? And I want you guys to kind of listen in to me. I'm going to see, let me go ahead and see if I can just pull this up so you guys can kind of see the Discord group. I do believe that everyone that is serious about MoveQuest should be in the Discord group so you can stay abreast to any new information that comes around, anything that goes on in the system. Now, before I even get started talking about this, I just want to share with you guys that I am also one of the people that got hacked, ladies and gentlemen. I had about 100 and actually I had about, it was less than 100 because I put in about $100 to pay for my next few days of submissions, next couple weeks actually, of submissions on the MoveQuest system, right? The ecosystem. That's a part of how we submit our proof of physical activity, get our MQT. It's just a part of how we take part of the MoveQuest ecosystem, right? But I looked this morning after seeing in the Discord group some folks saying that they had some money that they had put in their internal wallets for submissions and different things of that nature. Maybe they were buying Q chips or whatever it is, maybe. It's usually for submissions, though, that we put our USDT on the Avalanche chain, Avalanche USDC, right? So I was a person that was using USDC. It's a stable coin. So I like that they added that, right? Just to give you guys a little bit of context. So I looked in my own personal internal wallet and I saw that all of the funds that I had in my internal wallet, they were gone. So I was like, oh, I'm one of those people. Now, of course, I didn't have a whole lot of money in there. And then, of course, I checked my external wallet, which is more important to me than my internal MoveQuest wallet. While my internal MoveQuest wallet, its security is very important to me, I care way more about my external wallet, all right? And to my knowledge, there was no breach in my system of my external wallet, which is great. There's no way to get there anyway unless you have access to my security phrase. If I click on a malicious link or something of that nature, and I knew I hadn't done that. So I knew just on my own crypto knowledge in my own head that this had to have been something that went on a MoveQuest site. So I just want to let everybody know before I start reading some of the stuff in the Discord group that were announced by some of the members of the core team and Lynette herself. I want to just make sure everybody knows that I'm one of those people that unfortunately had their funds stolen from my account. I call it stolen because, I mean, a hack is that's someone stealing your stuff, right? Getting in somewhere they're not supposed to be, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Discord group really quickly because I want you guys to see this for yourself, all right? I want you to have to take my word for it, right? I want you to just see it for yourself. Let me actually do it this way. This way's always been easier for me. AirPlay. Good old Apple products. All right. Should be coming up shortly. Here we go. Welcome if you haven't been here. This is the Discord group of MoveQuest, all right? In the announcement section, it says, urgent security notice, immediate action required. I need everyone to pay attention to this, all right? If you weren't paying attention before, I need you to pay attention right now, okay? We have identified a security incident affecting a portion of our internal wallets. At this time, it appears that approximately 100 internal wallets may have been impacted, including my own. All right, now that's not my words. This is the person that wrote the note, and we'll see who that wrote the note at the end of the note. We are actively investigating the situation to determine the full scope and cause. Immediate action required. So here's what they want you to do immediately. If you have funds in your internal wallet, please withdraw them to your external wallet immediately. I will repeat that. If you have funds in your internal wallet, please withdraw them to your external wallet immediately. If you notice any unauthorized transfers, do not deposit or add additional funds at this time. All right? I hope everybody got that. Now, this is for your external wallet security. Your external wallet is not affected by this incident. I want to repeat, your external wallet is not affected by this incident. MoveQuest does not have access to your external wallet. Wallets are linked for read-only interaction only and cannot be accessed or controlled by the platform, all right? Some of us knew that already, some of you didn't. So I hope you guys are starting to understand how crypto works, right? Through some of the processes. Like, this is an unfortunate way to learn, but hey, this is how we learn, right? This issue is isolated strictly to internal wallets. So what they're saying is, this is on the MoveQuest end. This is not on your end in your personal wallet, which is great news, all right? That's fantastic news, okay? For those of you that didn't know. All right, here we go. Additional security clarification. This incident is not related to external wallet connections or token approvals. Your external wallet has not been exposed or accessed through this event. As a general best practice, users may choose to review and revoke wallet permissions periodically, but this is not required in response to this incident. For the users not affected, you may continue to submit your proof of physical activity. Only transfer in the amount needed to submit, which is their suggestion, and then withdraw remaining funds back to your external wallet immediately. So here's what they're saying. Only have what you need to submit. So if it's $1.50, if it's $4.30, if it's $7.43, only put in there what you need to do the submission, and then withdraw the remaining funds back to your external wallet immediately. All right? So hopefully that makes sense. For users who have been affected, do not transfer any funds into your internal wallet at this time, as they may be at risk. I want to repeat that. For users who have been affected, so this is me they're talking to, do not transfer any funds into your internal wallet at this time, as they may be at risk. So some of you that may be saying, oh, okay, well, no big deal. I'll just put another $50 in there, and we'll be good. Don't do that right now. All right? Because that's what I was thinking about doing. I was like, okay, well, it's $100. I'll go get $100 and throw it back in there to make sure I can do my submission. All right. So we'll address that later, but just stay with me for now. Okay. What we are doing right now. All right. Here's the top priority. The top priority is securing all internal wallets to prevent any further activity. We will be replacing the current internal wallet system entirely to ensure continued safety for all users. And this is something that they have been talking about. I think this is alluding to the MoveQuest wallet. Okay, MoveQuest is having its own wallet. They've been talking about their development of this wallet for months now, and it's about that time that it's, this might have just accelerated the release. I don't know. I'm just kind of speaking from what's on my brain right now. That's not any official information that I have or anything like that. But what they're saying right here to me is that, or to all of us, is that MoveQuest will be replacing the current internal wallet system entirely to ensure continued safety for all users. A new internal wallet infrastructure will be deployed, including enhanced security measures, stronger encryption, and upgraded protection protocols. All users will be issued new internal wallets as part of this upgrade. All right. So rest assured, you will still have the infrastructure there to be able to get your crypto in for your submissions on the blockchain. I know that's something that I'm going to want to do as soon as possible because I don't want to miss out on any days of this mining that I'm doing. I want to continue to mine. I'm not a person that's quitting on, by the way, if you can't tell by my tone, I'm not a person that is quitting on MoveQuest because of this. I'm not a person that even believes that this is going away. In a sea of platforms that would have an issue like this and would go away or would bring out false promises to you. So, of course, they're telling us stuff that we're going to be paying attention to and hold them accountable to, of course. But do I have that feeling that MoveQuest is just out of here? Obviously, no, I do not. All right, so let's get back on task. Affected users. Let's get back to the affected users. We are compiling a complete list of impacted wallets and balances. All right, so if that is you, they are putting a list together. All verified losses will be covered as we transition into the new wallet system. I want to say that again. For affected users, we are compiling a complete list of impacted wallets and balances, and all verified losses will be covered as we transition into the new wallet system. All right. Submission protection. It is our intent to have this resolved today so nobody has any interruption. That would be great. All right. I'd love to continue just to submit on my proof of physical activity. I had a good day of steps. Important note. This appears to be a highly sophisticated attack. While we have early indications of how this may have occurred, we will share confirmed details only after the investigation is complete to ensure accuracy and security. All right. I hope that makes sense to everybody. The next update. Now, this was a while ago. All right. This was posted in here. Let's say what time. This was at 9 a.m. It is now 4:13 p.m. Okay. So I just want to give you that context. As this note says, the next update will come. They will return with more detailed update within 30 to 45 minutes. We understand how serious this is and are handling it with the highest level of urgency and responsibility. Thank you for your immediate attention and your continued trust, Lynette and Waleed. And for those of you that don't know who they are, Lynette is the founder and Waleed is the lead tech developer. And these are both geniuses, ladies and gentlemen. And I do believe they have our best interests at heart. I do believe they are going to be working on the situation. And of course, I was at church. It's Easter. So I had early morning service. I wasn't able to get all this down, but more people to kind of shout out Kat Clement. She's a great moderator in this Discord. Here's something else that was said. I understand the frustration and concern. This is your ecosystem. This is your time, your effort, and your value. What I need you to understand is this. Platforms like MoveQuest are not sitting quietly in a corner. They are constantly being tested, probed, and targeted. That is the reality of building something valuable in the blockchain space. Even the most secure systems in the world, including government systems and major financial institutions, have experienced sophisticated breaches, not because they are careless, but because the level of attack evolves constantly. For those of you that are out there, you know that. Hopefully that, this is a kind of lesson in that. That said, this is where the difference matters. What defines a project is not whether it is tested, but how it responds when it is. I want to repeat that. What defines a project is not, goodness gracious, let me get back. Come on, you're messing up my flow here. All right. 1 second, y'all. I was in that thing too, boy. I was in there. All right, let's get back to it. Had some technical difficulties here. All right, here we go. Let's get back to what it said. It says, what defines a project is not whether it is tested, but how it responds when it is. Woo. My window's open, excuse me. There's a road right behind me. Anyway, And here's what we've done. So this is what MoveQuest has done. We have identified the issue quickly. We communicated immediately and transparently, which they did. We took action to secure the system. We are rebuilding and upgrading the internal wallet infrastructure. We are covering verified losses. We are protecting user activity so no one loses progress. All right? MoveQuest is responding. MoveQuest was never built to be fragile. It was built to adapt, evolve, and strengthen under pressure. We will come out of this with a more secure system, a stronger infrastructure, and a more resilient ecosystem. And I want to say this clearly, your external wallets remain secure. This incident is isolated to internal systems, and we are taking full responsibility for resolving it. We are not stepping back. We are stepping forward, stronger. Thank you to everyone who has stayed engaged, communicated quickly, and supported each other through this. This is exactly how strong communities are built. The good news is that out of over 15,000 internal wallets, oh my goodness, won't let me be great. The good news is out of over 15,000 internal wallets, only 100 or so were affected because the community was proactive. While this happened during the overnight hours, we were able to contain it from spreading further. And that is from Lynette. All right, here's the next note. This was at 10:11 a.m. One thing this community can always rely on. We are committed. We work around the clock. Security is our top priority. We will always be transparent, and we take full responsibility for the MoveQuest DApp. Moments like this test a project, but they also define it. We won't disappear. We won't deflect. We step in, we communicate, we fix what needs to be fixed. That's who we are. That's what you can count on. All right. This is another note from Lynette at 11:25. It says, I am very happy to announce that what was stolen from the slimeball hackers is under $20,000, much lower than I expected it to be. Her being Lynette, I being Lynette. I will cover this, and everyone will receive what was stolen during this hack to the internal wallet. This was nothing the community did, making it yours. This is nothing the community did, making it your responsibility. You've heard us say over and over, if you do something that compromises your wallet, that is your responsibility. All right. But this is not one of those things. I just want to reiterate that for those of you that don't understand. If there was a weakness in our security, it is our responsibility, and we will cover the loss to you. All right. Here's the next note. This was at 12:04 p.m. Mind you, again, reminding you, this is 4:19 p.m. I'm reading this from Lynette. Just so everyone understands, because this is decentralized, we don't know who is connected to what wallet. We have all the wallets that were affected. You do not need to send us a notification. Once we have this fixed and new wallets assigned with a new layer of security we are creating right now, and then after the funds that were stolen by the hack are returned to your new internal wallet, if you didn't receive yours, you will need to send us, let me just read that one more time. You do not need to send us a notification. Once we have this fixed and the new wallets assigned with a new level of security we are creating right now, and then after the funds that were stolen by the hack are returned to your new internal wallet, if you didn't receive yours, will you need to send us any information? Not sure if that's how it was meant to be read, but Zoom doesn't want me to be great today. And we're going to figure this out. So y'all just have to fast forward. Because we're going to read all of this. I think it's important. There we go. All right. So it says, please don't flood us with this information. We really have a lot on our plate today. We don't want people to think we are ignoring you, but we cannot respond to each person when they alert us of what we already know. All right. The hack tally at this time at 12:04 p.m. Final wallet count affected at this time, 104 wallets. The number of AVAX stolen, 1,384. USDT stolen, 1,712. USDC stolen, 517. MQT stolen, 282. We are happy that over 15,000 wallets were not affected. We apologize to those of you that own the 104 internal wallets that were. All right. This also was noted. Binance chain losses are also being collected. Stand by for your Binance chain specific details. Your actions on the Binance chain should be the same as above for all chains. This was at 1:07, and then at 1:17 p.m. Quick overview of what everyone should know, or what everyone should do now. If you weren't one of the 104 wallets affected, to be super diligent, minimize access funds in your internal spending wallet. If you were impacted, just be patient and wait. Check back here for updates. There's nothing else you need to do right now. For more details, read the announcements above, starting right here. All right. So I read through all of that, ladies and gentlemen. I also put that into my Telegram group for those of you that are in my Telegram groups. While this is unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen, based on this news right here, I'm not discouraged. I'm extremely encouraged. And of course, if they do what they say they're going to do, which I'm highly confident that they will, they replace and replenish everyone's their spending balances, whatever they had. The beauty of blockchain is you can go back to all the wallets that were affected. You can see exactly what was there and what was transferred, what was moved. You can see all of that on the blockchain. So they have that kind of information. And this just came to my head as well. When you guys are out there and you're thinking about different projects to be involved in the crypto space and in the decentralized world, when stuff like this happens, it can be traced. All right. And if the project is built the right way, I'm not saying that they'll be able to just go and retrieve the funds that were taken, but the incident should be very insulated, like it was to the internal wallets. It never spilled into anybody's external wallets because they truly don't have access to your external wallet. It's a read-only system. I mean, I could get your wallet address and I can see what's in your wallet, but I don't know who you are if I don't know who you are. And of course, I can't just go in there and take it, right? Now, if I have my key phrases and all that stuff. Now, some of us may be wondering, how did they just go in there and take it from MoveQuest? I don't know. But what we have been reassured is that when they find out, they're going to let us know. They pretty much told us everything else. In my personal opinion, I think this accelerates the community's need for its own wallet system, right? And this has nothing to do with MetaMask or any of the other wallets that are available to you. But the MoveQuest system obviously needed its own upgrade, and I do believe that a part of this was a good test to see where MoveQuest is right now in its own security. And they knew what they needed to improve on previous to this attack, because if they didn't know, they wouldn't be creating their own wallet system. So with that being said, while I'm discouraged that this happened, I'm not discouraged about MoveQuest. I'm actually more excited than ever, because now we get to see the MoveQuest wallet, hopefully very, very soon. Now we get to put MoveQuest to a bit of an accountability test, right? And this should speak volumes to a community of people that we have gone through things like this before, where companies and different platforms, or whatever we wanted to call them at the time, where they would, get hacked, right? And next thing you know, we don't have access to our funds, right? They don't get returned to us, or we find out it was some kind of scam or something like that, or, all these different things that have happened, and we've never gotten a dime back, right? Now that this has happened in MoveQuest, we get to put MoveQuest to the test. Will they do what they say they're going to do? I'm very confident they will, and I do believe that when they do, it should add a lot of confidence to this community that's already here. Yes, you're going to have times when I've been personally hacked. Why do you think I say stay strapped so you don't get hacked? Because I've been hacked before. I know how that feels, but it forces you to now handle yourself different, right? Forces you to grow. It's like you feel like you got violated a little bit, so you protect yourself a little better. You put guardrails around yourself, healthy ones, all right? And this is one of those situations where it's going to give MoveQuest an opportunity to put some healthy guardrails up. I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited to see them come through with what they said they're going to do in the community for all the people that had losses. And for the losses to be $20,000 when we have a liquidity pool of millions, I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking bigger than the short term. I lost $100 myself, y'all. I did. Those were submission fees that I had placed in there so that I can future proof myself for a couple weeks. But at the end of the day, what we have here is an example of what can happen in the space if we are not being diligent and vigilant with our security. Now, I don't want this to happen to anybody else out there, as well as I don't want it to happen in MoveQuest again, but MoveQuest has a robust infrastructure. So for someone to be as sophisticated as to get into this system, the one thing that I do know on a positive note is there's going to be a lot of lessons learned from this activity. And I know that the developers, I know Waleed, I know Lynette, they've always said that security has been, and they've proven, they haven't just said it, they have proven it. They've done whole Zoom calls, hours long, on people making sure that they understand their own security in the space, because we also have to understand with an application, with a movement like MoveQuest, that's going to attract so many people, not just people that are in crypto right now, but people that have never even thought to be in crypto in their lives, but understand that moving to earn is an industry that they may want to play a part in, and they get the opportunity to be in an equally as lucrative, if not more lucrative industry as cryptocurrency. You get to merge those two together and bam, you got MoveQuest, the best idea in the crypto space, right? But even the best ideas, especially the best ideas in the crypto space, are easily the ones with the biggest targets on their back. So while this may be a instance where we're experiencing not the best time, I'm encouraged today that MoveQuest is going to make it all right. And we're going to continue to mine. We're going to continue to move. Let's keep on moving these bodies. Let's keep on staying healthy. Let's keep on submitting our proof of physical activity when we get the opportunities to. Let's embrace the changes that MoveQuest has for us, because they are only going to make our system even more secure and more robust. And it's going to build the trust of a community. All right. It's going to keep the trust of a community. And then it's going to help us grow this community, because a battle-tested community is one that can stand the test of time. It can stand a bear market and a bull market, the ups and downs of a crypto space. And, that's what you need. You need to have some resiliency in this space, ladies and gentlemen. And this is one of those things that's going to test our resolve. But I'm so excited for what MoveQuest can do with this opportunity that they have right now. So with that being said, put your 2FA on all the platforms that will allow you and all of your wallets, because crypto is indeed the wild, wild west, y'all. If you ain't strapped, you're bound to get hacked. Ask me how I know. It's not very fun at all. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to be updated and notified about everything going on here at BOJ, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. And please, sir, and please, ma'am, don't get scammed by that WhatsApp man, Telegram woman, whoever's out there trying to get your key phrases, seed phrases. Don't give them up. Let's stay diligent. Let's stay vigilant in this space. All right. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.